Okay, we have here my recipe for a crispy beef tostado. I haven't made these in a while and I really like them, and it seems harder than it is, but the girls are here playing, making noise in the background. They always help. There's my elder helper. And it always seems like it's very hard to make, but it's not. And so we're going to do a video. I have cut up an onion and some ground beef that I'm going to cook down together after we get the dough started. I've got in here 3 cups of flour, and I've got some 5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then it said add 1 1/4 cups milk to form some dough. And so I should take my ring off, but I'm going to leave it on. Do this with clean hands. I have been washing dishes. My hands are clean. And you can use just a spatula if you want. But basically you're going to put this together until it forms a soft dough. It's already getting doughy, see? And then you're going to let it set for an hour. I have my hot steaming cup of tea, a few candies to snack on, and here is my dough all kneaded together. Now you don't knead it too much, and you let it set an hour. It's been set in about 11 or 12 minutes. And over here I have my onions and my ground beef that I am stirring together and cooking till brown, and the onions are all cooked down. And now I've also started chopping up toppings. I've got tomatoes now. The recipe does suggest more onions, but I like them just in the ground beef, but you can do more onions for your toppings. I'm going to start grating some cheese, or I might just get some cheese already shredded. I'm going to get some lettuce out, and we will go from there. I actually read the recipe, and I realized I needed garlic in with my meat, and I have this frozen garlic, and I've put it in with my meat, and I've found some mozzarella cheese and a shredder, so I'm going to begin shredding here in a minute. And I've also found some enchilada sauce. My husband likes that on his toppings. I don't really care for enchilada sauce. The recipe does suggest picante sauce. And the recipe also calls for some refried beans, and thankfully I had a can in the cabinet. Here's my cheese I'm working on, and it's a slow go. I've had to chop some of it up because, you know, my fingers get down to the bottom. The next step here says to add the seasoning and the water. And it says to add an envelope of the taco seasoning mix, but since I use so much of it in cooking, I just have this, and I'm just going to shake some in. I have no idea how much an envelope is. And then it said add some water, 3/4 of a cup, and so I'm going to pour that in and stir it up, and then we'll be back for the next step after this simmers. The dough has been setting about 40 minutes, so I got about another 20 minutes to go because it sets for an hour. And while you're doing that, you're doing all this other fun stuff. And the next step, I forgot to mention before you put the taco seasoning in, yes, you can leave your fat in there if you like it. If you are daring and don't care about health, or before you put the taco seasoning in, go ahead and drain and rinse your meat. But here's the next step, is to add a can of refried beans. So here's the can. I've already kind of shoved it in there because I'm doing this. I'm cooking left-handed with one hand while holding the phone. Yes, women can be multitaskers. So I'm going to just put this in here and stir it up with the meat and heat it up until that gets all ooey and gooey and yummy. My hour weight is up, and since I don't own very many pans, I had to take my meat mixture and put it back here where I'm going to reheat it here in a bit when I put on the oil. In fact, let's turn it all on now. Because this oil is supposed to heat. I'm going to make sure that meat, whoops, do it again. Make sure the meat's real low. And the oil is supposed to heat up to 375 degrees. I have no idea. I have a thermometer around here somewhere. But I generally just get it really hot. And I was trying to think of what else. It says picante sauce on the bottom of these tostadas. I was trying to think of what else I could do because I don't have picante sauce and I'm not crazy. I got some taco sauce. Hubby's going to use enchilada sauce. And I decided I was going to get these roasted bell peppers out and I chopped them up. Now it's been an hour and I've already gone a step ahead. I've got my powder, my flour, and I just put a little bit of it on my countertop. I don't know. Some people may freak out about germs, but I don't. You know, I made sure it was nice and clean, and heck, these are going to get fried at 375 and kill all the germs anyway. But if you have your method of putting it on something else, that's great. And we're supposed to divide it into 6 balls. And so I simply put my mound in the middle and cut it in half with my hand, and then each half had to be into 3 balls. So I've got my 6 balls. Okay, here we are again. My dear hubby is sick today, so he can't hold my phone. He's resting while I'm making him a nice meal. And so it's a little more difficult, and hey, he's the humor. So, you know, I know you all are missing him. But I'm taking my 5 of these 6 and rolled them out because I can't do this very well on a video. But when you roll them out, for those who don't know how to roll, and I can't do this very well, but I usually hold my rolling pin up and just slather it with all, you know, it falls down while I do it, with flour, just covering it, and then you just, I can't do this with one hand. I am not very talented. So you just keep rolling it out and rolling it out. Of course, you hold the ends of the roller if you're not holding your iPhone. And we can multitask, you know. Just keep pushing it out from the center until it gets to be about 7 inches. And all of these are about 7 inches. I did get a ruler. And so now I'm stirring my meat every once in a while, make sure it isn't getting burnt. And this oil, I think it's about to boil. I don't know what, you know, 375 is. Surely it needs to be at least about boiling. Be careful never to leave oil like this on the stove unattended. It can start huge fires and burn your house down. Of course, a fresh pot of tea is always required. And so I'm just going to take one of these and carefully plop it in there. Now I've got my handy dandy long tongs, and you see what it's doing. It's immediately puffing up. How cool is that? I love it, love it, love it. And you're going to turn it once during the process. Oh my gosh, is that not fun? I might have it a little too warm because it's cooking really, really fast. I'm going to turn down my flame a little bit. I do have a gas stove. And is that not too fun? I think it's done. Take it out and plop it on a plate and get me another one. Here we go. I kind of splattered oil everywhere. Be careful not to burn yourself or the dogs. Look at that. I love it. It's bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. Bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. Get my trusty old tongs and turn it over. Beautiful. Is that not beautiful? Ha! Beautiful. Isn't this fun? This is like fun kind of cooking. And that one's done. And there went in another one. No, I think they look pretty good. Pretty, pretty yummy. But oh, look how yummy golden that is. Isn't this fun? I'm telling you, these are fun to eat. They're not like the tostadas you get in a Mexican restaurant. They're homemade. Homemade. They're puffy. I love them because they're... I'm going to turn this one more time because I think I turned it the first time too soon. They're puffy fun. Okay, while that's cooking, I'm going to get me another plate. I'm going to get this one because I think it's the prettiest. Put that on the plate. Better get over here and come turn this one. Look at all those mounds of puffiness. And let's see, for mine, I've got this, I need to be bringing this over here, but I've got this yummy warm sauce. Putting in the middle. You get a whole lot and spread it around. Remember, you need to divide the sauce into 6 because this is making 6 portions. And then you accidentally drop some on the floor when you're doing this multitasking, and the doggies grab it. So then I've got my meat on there, and I'm ignoring this one, and it's probably getting too dark. Let's see. Oh, no. Very nice. Then I've got my red peppers, and I'm going to put on mine in the place of picante sauce. It says to put picante sauce next, but I just did red peppers. And then I'm going to do tomatoes. Now, hubby does not like tomatoes, so he does not get tomatoes on his. I love tomatoes. And, of course, lots of mozzarella cheese. That's the best part, isn't it? And there we have a yummy tostado. And I'm going to put another tostada on it for hubby. Which side? I like to have the mountains on the top. See, this side's kind of flat. Mountains. Is this ready to turn over? This definitely, one of these is enough to fill you up. You don't need much else. You can have some side. I'll probably have some carrots with it on the side. Maybe you might want to make a dessert, have a glass of wine. I think a glass of wine might work. So this meat here is really yummy. I had to put a little more seasoning sauce in it to get the flavor. So there's that. And hubby likes enchilada sauce. I'm going to check this though. Still doing okay. Hubby likes enchilada sauce. That's what we're doing with his. And then he, of course, loves cheese. He doesn't like tomatoes. Of course, the more cheese, the better. I'm going to let it melt. Put some more cheese on mine. Here's the last one done cooking. But what you do is you have your family all come and put the toppings on they want. You keep them all out. I've made these, I think, for... Turn off the oven. I've made these, I think, for large parties. Doesn't that look yummy? And it really isn't that hard. It's just time consuming because it takes an hour for the dough to set. And you get to do all the other stuff in between, and you get to go tweet and sit at your computer and read and drink a little tea, and yeah. But this is good. They're really hefty to pick up too.